Alright, so as I'm sure you were aware, on October 23rd, the update in which you could trade up reds for knives. And we saw the fucking price of reds just skyrocket. There's an accurate description of what happened. This is your average red. Sucks. $1 down here. And then in like an hour, it went to like $60 for most of them. And since then, they've continued to rise. A lot of people are like, maybe I'll just buy fucking cases again because now the prices of red are out of control. So let's take a look. Let's see what's better, the case or the trade up, and what's going on behind it, what you should be buying, right? So the case. So those are our case odds, right? They haven't changed. The price of a key hasn't changed. It's still $250. So let's say we open 400 because that's about how many cases it takes on average to get yourself a knife. Does not mean you get a knife, right? You got 1 in 385 probability of getting a knife. So there's a 384 out of 385 chance per case you get no knife. Pulling up Desmos, right? When you open up 0 cases, 100% chance no knife, right? When we go to like 385, 36% of people will still have not opened a knife. This is what this graph means. Even when you open 1,000, 7% of people are not opening a knife. That may seem like good odds for you. Think about how many people are playing Counter-Strike, right? 1 million people, that means 70,000 people still haven't gotten a knife after opening 1,000 cases. So you're not guaranteed a knife. This is simply the average. 1 knife, 3 reds, 13 pinks, 64 purples, and 320 blues. So if we took like 1 million people and they all opened 400 cases, this is what like the averages would look like. Some people would have 0 knives, some people would have 2, some people would have 3, but this is what the average is. Now let's say these figures right here are like the average cost of, so while these are pretty accurate, this one's a little bit misleading because like your average cost of a knife is like $300. Fucking 80% of knives are over here, and they're all shit and worth $10. But then you have like 2 outliers out here that are worth like 30 grand. So it's skewed. Keep that in mind. But if we do the cost of this, we get around like $700 for like the value of what we bought. But the price of just the fucking keys is $1,000, and we probably paid like $250 for the cases. So we're looking at like minus $550. And this is real fucking hopeful, right? You're getting an $80 knife. You know it, I know it. So this number's gonna be way worse. Now, it's probably better that we just trade up instead of selling all these blues and purples and shit, because we'll get 32 blues, right? So this will make this 96 instead of 64, which will get us 9 pinks. So we'll go to 22 here. That'll get us 2 reds. So we'll have 5 reds. And then we can trade up for another knife, right? So that's a guaranteed knife, and that's another shot of trying to get, and we don't have to open cases. First, you have to hit this chance of getting it, and then you have to hit this chance of getting over here, so your odds are fucked. If you do the trade up, you're guaranteed at least a shot on this part, which is huge. So after, doing all this shit, trading everything up, we're looking at around 2 knives per 400 cases. Alright, let's do a trade up. So at the moment, reds are like $60 to $80, so we're looking at $240 to $300 per trade up. And like I said, we're gonna use the same figure here, like a $300 average knife. But as shown by this beautiful graphic right here, most of your shit's gonna end up here. But for the first trade up, $300 average. Like as you keep going, we spent $1250 over here, so we could do 4 trade ups. We're getting 4 knives, right? 4 knives guaranteed. So that means 4 shots at this part. We don't even have to, get fucking super lucky and then go here. We got 4 chances, all for it by paying upfront $300 per trade up. So, the more chances we get here, as I said, more of the knives are saturated on the left side of this. Our cost per knife that we get out of the trade up probably goes down over time. So I would say like $300 for the first one, right? That's your first one. Like as you keep going, since it's skewed left, I would say like the average price probably goes down to like $225 per knife, then $200, and then another $200. I'd say like $600, $900. So like your return on investment. So we're getting 4 knives worth $900. Here we're getting 2 knives, probably worth like $550, something like that. So trade ups are the better thing to do right now, right? Those reds, they look expensive, but they're probably not where they're gonna find their equilibrium at. It's probably gonna be a little bit higher, maybe like $100 per red is like. But instead of reds just going up and knives staying the same price, it'll probably be both of them moving. So we'll probably see knives go down a little bit, and we'll probably see reds go up comparatively, right? So you're paying for the trade up, right? So you're guaranteed more shots, and I think that'll stay the same. So I think we'll probably find our equilibrium, right, where 3 knives is the cost of like 400 cases, because 400 cases gives us 2 knives, right, on average, and then plus the chance of more knives. So I guess you can get 400 knives, but you're not going to, but you could. So, you're trading off right here a knife for the chance at like extra knives or maybe reds or some shit. So I think 3 knives is probably the equilibrium in which, the value is the same. 3 knives guaranteed, and then 400 cases where 2 knives are pretty much guaranteed, and the chance at some extra knives or extra reds, extra value. So that's probably going to be the equilibrium, and it'll probably round up costing the same thing. So this is like $1,200 right now. So this will cost $1,200. So it's like $400 paid up value. So like we'll probably see reds go anywhere from like 80 to 120 per red. So I think if you see a red on the market and it's anywhere lower than 80 to 120, you should buy it, because it's probably, I would venture to guess that it probably goes somewhere to there in like the medium term. These are still valuable. Tradeups are still way too valuable. That means that reds are being sold at a bargain, and the people who have reds will over time start charging more as the buying pressure like stays pretty consistent on reds. So we'll see it go up over time, and supply is dwindling, and you can see how this is gonna it's gonna constantly keep changing, right? Because now the prices of reds are going up, so now the value of opening a case goes up. A higher chance comparatively getting a red, and if reds and knives start to approach each other in price, then people will move over to cases, and then they'll start opening cases, which means a more incoming supply of red, which then increases the supply and then lowers the price. So it'll keep going up and down, and then it'll eventually find its happy point, and I think that'll be around $100 to $120. So that's my analysis. I don't even know if it's right. Honestly, I don't know if anything I do on this YouTube channel is right. I'm just throwing numbers out there. So probably shouldn't listen to me later.